I'm Dr. Shelby Harris, and I'm the Director of Sleep Health at Sleepopolis. I am definitely a morning person. Yeah, I go to bed early and I wake up early.
What's early?
I'm usually in bed by 9:30, and I'm up by 5 most mornings, 5:30, to go for a run, try to get everything done before my kids get up. I sleep on my stomach, actually, believe it or not. Most people are pretty surprised, but I start off on my stomach, and a lot of people actually flip over throughout the night. That's what I do. I start on my stomach, and I end up somehow on my side or my back at night. For me, I worked on trying to get something down a little bit more when the pandemic actually happened. So I saw it as an opportunity to start stretching. I'm terrible with stretching. Runners are not good with stretching. So I decided every night I was going to spend at least 20 minutes just kind of powering down. And I go up to my room, I wash my face, get ready in my pajamas, and then I actually do a stretching routine. That's about 10-15 minutes. And then I get in bed, read a book, a magazine for 10-15 minutes, and then I lights out and go to sleep. During the beginning of the pandemic, I was watching the news, I was doom scrolling just like so many other people, that I said, I need to really start to practice what I preach much more, and I find that it really does quiet me down a little bit. On a normal, whatever quote unquote normal is, but a normal night for me, it would probably be about 8 to 8.5 hours, which I know sounds luxurious, but I try to, but that doesn't mean that I get that every single day. I'm a human being who has a bad night of sleep here and there, and there are some times that, my kids come in, they might come in with a nightmare, things like that, and those things definitely can impact sleep. I get stuck in like TV shows. So I'll watch Netflix shows and I'll start to binge watch. I had to turn off the autoplay for me because I was just going from one show to another. So I have to be very cognizant of that and not get sucked into 3 hours of random TV shows.
What TV show?
Oh, the baker in me was watching The Great British Bake Off. Even I'll watch the same episode 2-3 times sometimes over a year or two, but now I've started to rewatch Grey's Anatomy. So I'm on like season 3 now, and that I get sucked into very easily. I wish that people knew that it doesn't have to be huge sweeping changes to make little changes with your sleep. So you can start with just picking one thing to make a change on, and like we always say, to try and power down and turn screens off an hour before bed. If that doesn't work, just start with 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. I wish people would just kind of gradually ease into it as opposed to just kind of getting rid of thinking about it because it's too impossible. There's a million of them, but the one that I hear all the time is that I want to sleep like a baby. I want to be out cold. First of all, I don't know any babies that sleep throughout the night perfectly when they're young. So it's really about understanding that everyone wakes up about 4 to 7 times a night. We all do it after a sleep cycle ends. And that if you have 1 or 2 awakenings at night and you go back to sleep within 10-15 minutes, it's not a problem as long as you feel well rested and refreshed throughout the day. I sometimes go to the bathroom, I go back to bed. If it's just a quick awakening, I just go back to sleep. I do have those nights once in a while where I just can't sleep. So for me, I actually do get out of bed because some people can lay there for a little while and fall back asleep okay. I find just laying there just makes me want to force trying to go to sleep, and I get more annoyed and frustrated. So I just get out of bed and I either sit in the corner of my room in a chair that we have with a light on, or I go down the hall and I read. I have a stack of magazines and books that I just read, and I've even gone through old cookbooks before just to look for recipes, just something that I find pleasurable, that passes the time without using a screen, and then I get back in bed when I'm actually sleepy again. The number one thing that I think most people don't follow when they start having a bad night or two here and there is that they try to compensate for a bad night's sleep. So what that means is they'll either go to bed a lot earlier, or they'll sleep in the morning or take naps. If you can keep a consistent wake time 7 days a week, if you have trouble sleeping multiple times a week, that consistent wake time, and ideally a consistent bedtime, will help to keep it in check more so than if you try to catch up here and there. When you try to compensate, you're actually, by sleeping in the next morning, you're not going to be up enough hours during the day to be hungry enough for sleep at night. So we really want that consistent wake time that helps set your body clock and helps make you hungry enough for sleep at night. Either a professional musician, bassist in orchestras, or a pastry chef, because I really love baking too, so I actually almost thought about going into that world as well. Now I just bake for fun and stress relief, and I love to make some cookies on the side.